Hi there and welcome to the Herbal Moon Goddess podcast. My name is Kyra and I'm your host. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some daily rituals that you can use to align your life with the energy of the moon and the stars. So this is something that I actually don't know why, but I am really passionate about my morning ritual, my daily routines, because it really helps me show up to a higher potential. And it's kind of funny because if you know anything about astrology, then you'll know that like these daily routines and stuff, it's all to do with that Virgo energy and with the sixth house on your astrology chart. And I actually don't really have anything in either Virgo, like any planets. I don't have any planets in Virgo. I don't have any planets in my sixth house. So it's kind of weird. But anyway, I really love sharing what I do every morning to raise my vibe. And astrology is a big part of that. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So before I dive into sharing my morning ritual with you to connect with the astrology of the day, with the energies, I just wanted to announce that the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner is now available for pre-order. If you got my first edition, the 2021 Moon Planner, then you already know what it's all about. It is a week to a page planner for the entire year. And on each day, you'll see exactly what phase the moon is in, what sign the moon is in, whether the moon is void of course. You'll find those exact times when the moon is void of course. And in the 2022 edition, there's a heap more included. You'll find collective transits, so you'll know what's happening with the stars, what's happening with the rest of the planets apart from just the moon. You'll also find ritual pages for each new and full moon. And of course, there's like Sabbats. You'll find out when it's Mercury retrograde and all that other fun stuff. So if you're ready to align your life with the moon and stars to find more purpose in your life, then pre-order the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner. The link is in the show notes. I'm really excited. And also it comes in 2 colors as well, which is really exciting, and different time zones as well. I've created a few different options for you guys so you can choose what color suits you best and which time zone also works best for you too. So check that out. Check out that link for the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner. So, rituals. Let's talk about morning rituals. So my morning ritual changes quite a bit, throughout the year, but generally there's always, I guess, the same sort of elements. So at the morning, what I do is I wake up and I make myself a green juice, or sometimes it's red if I put beetroot in it, but it's pretty much a blend of different fruits and vegetables. So I start my day nourishing my body and feeling really high vibe. And then usually I'll drink a bit of that, and then I'll do some yoga. I might only do like a few salutes to the sun, or I might do a whole vinyasa flow or something, depending on how I'm feeling for the day. But I'll do some yoga. I'll make that commitment and show up on my mat because it really helps. I feel a difference on the days when I don't do yoga. Like I definitely feel more muddled up in my mind and my body gets all tight in places. So for me, yoga is, really essential. And the fun thing about yoga is that you can align it to the moon energy as well. So generally when it's like the waning moon, I'll opt for a slower flow, and I might do some yin poses, so holding poses for maybe a few minutes. But when it's the waxing moon and that there's that building energy, then I'll do a faster flow. So I might do some vinyasa or a hatha yoga flow, something that, gets the energy moving around, gets the blood pumping, that sort of thing. But of course, I just see how I feel on the day. But it's always fun to line it up to what's going on with the astrological energy. So, talking about the astrological energy, the next thing that I do is I go to my journal. So I have, I guess, a bit of a complex journaling practice that I do. And as I said, it changes throughout the year. Some days, I'll do quite a few different things in my journal, whereas other days I'll just try to keep it a bit more simple. And I'm always evolving it and changing it as to what suits me and what I'm working on at the moment. I always set goals. Every day in my journal, I will set my goals. And these are just generally things that I want to achieve for the day, but I'll also check in with what are the things that I want to achieve for the week, or what am I working on this month, or, what goals am I working towards, and what's the next step that I can take to get there. So, I always end up writing out, I try not to make a huge to-do list, but honestly, it's often quite big. So I write out all the things that I want to do. And then I will generally have a look at what's going on astrologically. So I will check out the moon, what phase is the moon in, what sign is the moon in. So these two key energies, I guess, really help me understand the energy of the day. So, for example, if it's in the new moon phase, then I know that this is a good time for starting new things. Or if the moon is waxing, then taking lots of action. If the moon is in the full moon phase, then perhaps it's a good time to celebrate or release stuff out of my life. If the moon is in its waning phase, then I know that this is a good time for letting things go or healing or focusing on self-care, that sort of thing. And then, of course, there's the zodiac energy. So once you find out what phase the moon is in, you pair that up with the zodiac sign that the moon is in for the day. So, for example, right now, when I'm recording this episode, the moon is in Sagittarius. So I know that with the moon in Sagittarius, I'm going to be feeling that Sagittarius energy of craving adventure and wanting to expand my mind and learn things. I know that this is a time when naturally I'm going to want to maybe read a book or dive into an online course that I'm working on or something like that. The Sagittarius energy is a lot to do with learning, teaching, going deep into something that you're passionate about. So I'll always look at that lunar energy, and something that really helps me do that is my moon manifesting calendar. If you haven't got a copy of the moon manifesting calendar, it's totally free. Every month I send out an updated version, which you can conveniently use as your wallpaper on your phone, on your computer, your iPad, or you can print it off and stick it up on your wall or something. So you can get that for free, and the link in the show notes if you're interested in the moon manifesting calendar. So I'll work out what the moon's doing, and then I'll look at my moon manifesting calendar. There's prompts there for every day, so it helps me understand a bit more about that energy and maybe where I should be directing my energy for the day. Then I'll have a look at what's going on with the other planets. So I'll look at the collective transits that are happening, and I'll also look at what's going on, where those transiting planets are making angles to my natal planets. Now, this might seem really complicated if you're not into astrology that much, you're still learning about it and you don't know where to start. That's totally cool. Something that's really helped me, along with like learning about astrology, which you can do in the Herbal Moon Goddess Academy. I've got a ton of courses specifically about astrology. But what I also do is I look at my Honeycomb Personal Almanac. It's amazing. Google it, Honeycomb Personal Almanac. And it is like my my Bible, really. Like, I look at this booklet every day, and it has the collective transits. It shows you exactly where the moon is every day, as well as those personal transits. So where those transiting planets are making angles with your natal planets. So it's a really good tool to quickly see what's going on astrologically, but then of course you've got to decode it. The Honeycomb Almanac, it's pretty much just a book with all these astrological symbols and times and dates. But once you can figure out the energy of the planets, then you can pretty much use that as a basis for writing out your own personal horoscope every day, which is what I do. And sometimes it's just as simple as seeing what planets are making transits on that day. So each of the planets has their own energy. So if there's something coming up with Venus, then I might think that, it's something to do with my relationships. My relationships might be coming into my focus today. Or if it's something to do with Neptune, then maybe it's a good time to be creative. Or if Chiron, the asteroid of healing, is making some angles, then this could suggest it's a good day for healing and working on those past wounds. So even if you're not sure how to read like all the astrological symbols, you have no idea about the angles and whatever that's happening, you can start to get an understanding of the energy to expect just by looking at the planets and understanding the energy of those planets. So these collective transits I'm talking about are included in the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner as well, so that you can easily see that information at a glance. And I also provide the tools in there for you to start to decode what's going on astrologically for each day as well. So morning rituals, green juice, yoga, setting goals, and checking out my personal horoscope for the day. I'll also pull a tarot card to give me a bit of guidance about the energy that's coming up, what I need to work on for the day. And, often the cards will say something like, you need to meditate today, or repeat positive affirmations, or work on your relationships, or don't be so negative. Like the guidance from my tarot cards, it usually matches up to what's going on astrologically and like my goals and everything else that I've already worked on. So pulling a daily tarot card or an oracle card is something that's really fun to do. And it just helps, I guess, reinforce the energy of the day and where you should be directing your energy. And so some other things that I have done in the past to include in my morning routines are things like selecting a crystal to work with each day, an essential oil to work with each day, or maybe even a herb to work with each day. With these three things, I would usually intuitively select the one that I needed for the day, or if I knew that there was some way that I needed some support, then I would consciously choose that one to support my energy in that way. And, I'll carry that crystal with me for the day, or I'll wear that essential oil or diffuse it. Maybe I'll make a herbal tea with the herb that I choose. There's lots of different ways that you can use these allies. And I feel like these, the crystals and the essential oils and herbs and whatever else, they are really supportive ways to support your energy throughout the day. And so this is another feature that I've included in the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner, where you can regularly check in and connect with these supportive tools to help you raise your vibe and feel more supported. Some other things that I've done for my morning routines are things like create an affirmation each day. And sometimes, this affirmation might be based on the crystal I've chosen, or the herbs I'm working with, or my goals that I've set. And, I'll write it out of my journal and I'll just keep repeating that to myself throughout the day. And if I think of it, then I'll charge my crystal with that affirmation as well. And I'll chuck the crystal into my bra or my pocket. And I just know that affirmation is, just being transferred to me through that crystal. So it's a really nice way to continue to raise your vibes and to use these different tools like crystals to enforce that energy of what you want to be, how you want to feel. So I hope that this has given you some inspiration for creating a morning ritual, aligning with the astrology of the day, but also aligning with other supportive tools such as tarot and crystals and essential oils. I'd love to know more about your morning rituals too. Feel free to send me a message on Instagram at herbal.moon.goddess or on Facebook at Herbal Moon Goddess. I'd love to know the insights that you took away from this episode. And if you are really excited about the year ahead and creating a different ritual for yourself every day, incorporating astrology and everything else into your daily ritual, make sure you check out the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner. The link is in the show notes. I'm really, really, really excited to be sharing this with you today. Yay! So thanks so much for joining me for today's episode. I'll catch you next time on the Herbal Moon Goddess podcast.